Oh, bottom again. E&D in trouble.
And they keep repeating in this bottom lane, and this time End should go down, and does. Muffin Man though wants to try turn this one around. Odyssey tries to stand his ground. They will get the MP off, but fortunately for Muffin Man, he's actually very in trouble here. He gets caught out by the Lucent Beam. Is he enough to trigger the Cold Feet? No, but they'll turn this one around onto Muffin Man. This time they connect with multiple slows and the Cold Snap, but again, they just cannot get the damage out that they require, and that means the ulti is available. Should they want it, Clip's not going to be used to help, and he does manage to get off, but the ulti ends, and now he's going to be careful because this could result in an Eclipse. Does not come out. Now in trouble as well. The rotation came in from BNA. We spoke about this. Frostbyte are good at these rotations early on. I think he's probably going to be brought down here. And again, Shazo catching out with the call. They've got the support coming from Bully as well. And Legend, he's just waiting for the dunk. And there it is. Shazo finishes the job nice and neatly. Gives her a little bit of extra move speed as they get back. Caught out with the Cold Snap as well as that first Urn Charge. And now Shazo, he turns attention to Crimson Tide. The dunk does not connect. The Rays will though. They'll find the first kill onto that act. They needed that one. And Legend fighting fit. He's going to try to run down versus the big man. The Shadow Fiend stands and delivers, but now the help comes in. It's going to come from BNA, and BNA will find the first kill. The Wyvern's curse is there, and Muffin Man, all that good work is going to be repaid by beating up your own support. And now one BNA, the Ravage! It's beautiful, Legend! Making it work! The ulti comes in from the Eclipse, and Frostbyte lose their mid. Wannabe might just fall next. The stun does come out, but the backline Muffin wants to avenge FSM. Won't be able to Frostblast. As he's still caught in a bad place. He should be brought down. The dunk comes out, and he is ended. And the ulti from the Frost Worm, the Winter Wyvern, so good right now, but it does allow Crimson Tide to pick up his by the call and should be brought down, and will be brought down by Frostbyte. I say this? No! He's gonna die.
He's burning.
A very simple reminder to have dust.
Bottom.
Now this is an assembling moment. Crimson Tide winds up the LT. He's right on top of the Panda, and they'll finish him off. Odyssey goes down. They're still bringing FSM. He's going to make the rotation regardless. Maybe they want to pick off a little bit more.
Check top lane. Put Billy
on their way back. Buddha trying to duel his ops and number. E&D in trouble here, but he gets finished off by BNA, not the Invoker, as they turn their attention to the tier. I mean, I guess. But that's a threshold thing, so only if you miss it. Anyways, Shazo gonna catch our end, and of course they finish him off quite nicely. And quickly, Sunstrike was used time here early on, but they're gonna catch up. Wannabe gets off his own ulti. The A blast will fly through. It's gonna go over the Wyvern and into the Roche pit, where it connects onto Shazo. They're gonna have to respect this. Legend still has the Ravage available to him. Odyssey losing one of his pandas early on. Go back to the I lie. Forget going back to the Roche, you already have it. Crimson Tide finished the job. He's walked straight into Odyssey as well. He's gonna wind up his ult on top of the Panda. And of course, with that Mask of Madness, when he opts to use, he's gonna load damage. He forces side, pops the BKB. He's gonna stand and deliver. Remember, this man still has an Aegis. BNA brought to his knees. And although Shazo TP'd onto the back line, he wasn't able to get into a position to actually fight this. Legend is very low though. Outside of the threshold for the in a lot of trouble here. He's got in the Eclipse. He stands to deliver. He's doing damage himself, but he does fall regardless. BNA wants to do some damage. He actually wants to go on the Luna. Goes in deep, but you're not alone there, friend. We'll eventually go the far way instead. It's an awkward position here. But he too has backup. FSM, they're going to be tracked by the Panda. But on the high ground, they await. Will they take the bait? Shazo is going to walk straight past Legend, who does... Oh, wow. He saw with Wyvern, was there. He's dancing around, but needs to get out. Awkward, very awkward Fire Emblem. In fact, it's just enough to keep him alive. Just enough on the edge. As Buddha Bully caught on the low ground, he may fall himself, and does. So in the end, desperately, Legend goes in. He's even going to catch the back line Brewmaster. Odyssey wasn't able to get fight. He's going to split though. They want to try take this. This is an interesting decision. They're still running in 2 versus 4, and the 5th man can find out Legend. This might not be the easiest target to go on. He is a tanky lad, and he'll be just fine. Backlines though! Searing chains onto 2! BNA destroys the backline of DUC, and BNA still alive and healthy. They're going to drop out, and they know he's there. They're going to track him down, and of course they need to buy it all the time, because Crimson Tide, he doesn't want to go down, but he will eventually fall, but he takes a couple of skulls with him. Even the axe fell there, gets bashed. but in the front lines, they're actually going to take the fight. Legend will get off the ulti though. A lot of damage done to Shazo, and Shazo is brought down, and Crimson Tide picks up the Aegis. He turns his attention to Muffin Man, but he gets tossed up in the... In they go though, Legend does get off the Ravage, but it was a beautiful ulti that came out from the Winter Wyvern, and in they go with the call. They're trying to finish the deal here, but Crimson Tide, he actually managed to back off, winds up his own ulti, and does get off, but the BKB was for him, the Satanic also used, but the Aegis still up. Look at the Panda just disappear. He can't even fight into there. The Luna did so much work, but he's able to toss him there. They get the equal snap off onto Crimson Tide, and they want to finish him off for the first time, but Muffin Man is still alive. He's caught up by the... That is a deep engagement from Shazo, but Legend will be able to get off the fairly handy Ravage and make that two! He'll get off both of them, but they get off the ulti from the Winter Wyvern to slow down Crimson Tide. BNA in trouble though, he has to back off. Doesn't quite get it, but Crimson Tide now gets caught up by that dust. And on the back lines, they're going to finish off another. They're going to trade that out, so their buybacks will come out from the Ember Spirit.
But there's another split on the Brewmaster.
He delivers, and the axe will fall. BNA trying to bounce out of there now, but he's caught up by the FSM telekinesis. He'll be pulled straight back in, and they don't quite have the damage to finish him off. But both those two cores are just standing and delivering. Get off the Winter Wyvern curse onto Muffin Man. There isn't quite enough damage. They need Shazo in there, but he's actually caught out by the Lunar Glaive, so he wasn't able to get onto. Might have been enough for DUC to finish the deal here. As Frostbyte, they try.
No axe for 2 minutes.
The deal here. As Frostbyte, they try.
No axe for 2 minutes.
Everything they have, but in the end, you're gonna walk into an A blast and a Ravage just for you, wannabe. Although that Aeon Discord proc, the GG has been called, and so this is an interesting one because it only rarely gives you the opportunity to engage into Legend. You can't really touch FSM. I mean, the fact that he's got the Shadow Realm. Oh, yeah. Well, looks like we'll be missing that one. At least I will have process.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank. I want to thank Bottom Lane for interrupting me. I want to be in a little bit of trouble here. Legend. Not going to be required to finish the job because FSM will do so instead. But
because she's one of the heroes that capitalizes on that space extremely well. You can clear out the creep wave really fast.
Top lane, Odyssey in a lot of trouble here. Will phase shift the Blood Right nicely, but he's got nowhere to go. He didn't have the illusion orb, and he's finished off easily with a combination of the Rupture.
Apart from like Kunkka and Bloodseeker, and then TA on 3k. But this fucker's on 1,000.
Hail comes down to Legend. They've brought in Butter as well, so they should have the damage to finish off Legend. The Bramble Maze goes down, but it's not going to save
AA. And next when a Rupture comes out of here, they're going on bottom. Kunkka's in.
Cat out Shazo, and the damage is definitely there. Crimson Tide and Co. with FSM backing things out with the Bedlam. Yikes.
Still end up with like close to 4,000 HP late game with one item.
Got Ancient Apparition, and they brought up BNA. And we'll get out the ulti, but Frostbyte don't want to stick around. They're backing off immediately. In a little bit of trouble. You still have the Dream Coil. They're thinking about it. Odyssey tosses through the illusion orb. Some damage done, but they have to respect the incoming traffic right now. And that traffic comes in the form of a bus, as they do pop a couple of Dream Coils. But Legend is bouncing and bashing and blowing up the Legion Commander, and Crimson Tide, he's not out of the woodwork, just Odyssey with the Dream Coil, and Frostbyte potentially back in this. Muffin Man though.
Heroes coming top.
Kunkka again. Fight up, but do they know that this time around is no, can't get off the Phantasm, but they do manage to get off the air blast, and in comes the Fango. He gets 3, but it's a hard turning circle, back onto DUC, misses FSM, going circle, back onto DUC, misses FSM, going round and round around, will potentially, and does finish off the Legend himself, as FSM wants to deal with Wannabe, but unfortunately for Wannabe, there's something called Shadow Realm, which is going to hurt BNA as well. The Dream Coil is beautiful though, and Crimson Tide, time to show us what you can do with those armor tokens, because the damage is not quite there. They're trying to finish him off, but it's going to be Butsu who has to walk back straight to the Bramble Maze.
The Duck Knight?
It's a Knighty Duck.
And Odyssey's in trouble.
He is in trouble. He gets dueled immediately. He didn't even get the opportunity to face him. Beautiful spike comes through, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, they just was it the Legion? Okay, it's only 2 levels of overwhelming odds.
Bot lane BNA in a lot of trouble. He's been caught out here in a big way. He's trying to get away from the tower, but of course he's just got no options. And Kunkka just so good at picking armor down.
top lane. They're actually getting a kill there. He's ulting for it.
Yeah, useful, but not huge. It's just the Dark Willow. It's actually doing a little bit of work as well, but going up with the Pango, he was immediately ruptured, and look at the damage that Crimson Tide has dealt! He's done so much work, and I don't even know where that came from. Was it a boat? Was it a Superman? I don't know. Shazo, though, in the skylines, does manage to crit one to death, and now he needs to get out. His own AoE
against the Legions, yeah.
But it's just handy against him on top of it. But it's going to be the ganker, or the recipient of the gank.
Legends like, kill him! Kill him! Kill him! I want my dual damage! Kill him!
Commit the Coco Rum to that as well. Full Radiance up on Crimson Tide as they do engage here. They're going to buy back as well. A lot of damage comes out to Muffin Man. Not enough to finish the job. Beautiful Terrorize comes out. Crimson Tide staying on the front lines will be able to do a lot of cause, trying to hit out of harm's way. But guess what? They're going to catch him out with the Blood Right. And Shazo stuck around too long. He wanted to help out, but in the reality, that's going to cost his life. Well, walks into Brown Maze, the Torrent is there, the Bedlam is there, and the air back here, man. You guys are okay, mid lane, Legend goes in. You're going to get a big target as well. It's the CK, the A-Boss, the Coco Rommel for it. Jaws won't even be part of the sequel. He missed Crimson Tide BKBs onto the front lines, but he hasn't gotten a huge amount of good out of it because they're going to trade off one of their cores. It is a big for an Aegis carrier though, so it means they'll get him back in. They've picked up 2, and now they're going to have to force the buy. They do get Muffin Man, but they're going to be able to stand their ground. Crimson Tide just beating up Shazo. He has no chance of winning this fight. Has to back off. At the moment, Crimson Tide feels like he can just run around as he pleases. The Flight Raiders on the back lines to pick up the TA, and they now want to the Flight Raiders on the back lines to pick up the TA, and they now want to finish the job onto one of these lines. And they may just be able to do that, but it does not connect with the Swashbuckle. That will seal the deal for the line. He has to buy back. Do they have buy be caught out? And this is bad news for Frostbyte because this almost certainly means the line's going to fall. They do manage to keep him alive a little while longer. The Disarm will come out from Frostbyte's Swashbuckle, but in the end, they pick up the line again. So now they wait for their back online. Shazo will have to deal with Jaws himself as they bring him down. The A-Blast flies over, an extra shock comes in. It's not the sequel, it's the trilogy. And right now, DUC have no interest in said trilogies. They
to kill this AA. He's causing way too. Oh, big Dream Coil.
Dream Coil is decent. Going to connect onto 2. A-Blast goes through Odyssey in a dangerous position, but they want to try on the back line, and they'll find the first. Crimson Tide actually took a lot of damage there. They still have Odyssey on the front line. He's tossed up though. He wants to survive, gets feared, and he will be brought down as well. Muffin Man, he's hyped up. He's moving fast. Takes a lot of damage from the tier, but they will manage to find another kill.
Odyssey,
as well as FSM go down. BNA just breaks one. Oh, what are you doing this time? This time around, they managed to go for pretty decent engagement with it. But the damage, it's not there for the Sharks, but the damage is there for the right clicks. And Shazo, he's just picked it up, but he's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. Crimson Tide winds up the torrent. And this may be the end. The Phantasm comes out. Shazo will stand his ground. But in the end, DUC. So much, so he wants out. The Legend says get over here, and he will get that dual victory, and he'll get another one as well, because DUC have nothing left to do but to claim their prize as Frostbyte fall out of it. The Wolves are gone. Terrorized, being wound up with the back lines. DUC are enjoying it. Odyssey, though, will do a little bit of damage to FSM as they keep themselves in this tournament for a little while longer, but the throne will fall to the GG.